What happens when a filmmaker dares to defy Disney's golden rulebook?
You know what I'm saying?
Meet Don Bluth, a visionary who challenged the Mouse House at its peak and reshaped animation forever.
I have been involved in so many wonderful entertainment pieces in my career.
From his early days working on Disney classics to his bold decision to break away and create unforgettable films like The Secret of Nimh and American Tail, Bluth proved that animated movies could be darker, deeper, and more emotionally complex.
Look there.
But it wasn't just about making movies. It was about taking risks, fighting for creative freedom, and giving audiences something they'd never seen before. How did one man go toe-to-toe with Disney and inspire a new era of animation? And what can today's creators learn from his story? Grab your popcorn, hit subscribe, and join us as we dive into the extraordinary life and career of Don Bluth, a filmmaker who proved that the best stories are the ones that break all the rules. Let's get started. Born in El Paso, Texas on September 13, 1937, Don Bluth's animation career started from Disney. As a youngster, Bluth always had a passion for animation. At first, he was captivated by the enchantment of Disney's narrative and animation, which were unparalleled in their appeal back then. Classics like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs and Pinocchio had a big impact on his early years. On Saturdays, he would frequently watch Disney movies before returning home to draw the characters. Later during his time at Brigham Young University, Bluth continued to pursue his love for animation. After graduating, he became part of Disney as an in-betweener for the movie Sleeping Beauty, 1959. During his early days at Disney, he had a great respect for the studio's narrative skills and artistry. But as his career developed, Bluth grew more and more dissatisfied with the course Disney was pursuing. He believed that animation could offer so much more. It could explore darker issues, portray deeper emotions, and tell tales that appeal to audiences of all ages. However, the Disney formula, which was mostly centered on happy stories and a more sanitized depiction of reality, did not fit this emerging vision. Finally, after working on well-known Disney productions like Robin Hood, 1973, and The Rescuers, 1977, Bluth made a bold move in 1979. He left Disney with a team of animators to launch his own animation company. This was no easy task. It was similar to a group of astronauts distancing themselves from NASA to conduct their own independent space exploration. It was an act of revolt, a declaration that there was more to animation. Of course, it was difficult to leave Disney's comforts and resources, but however, Bluth didn't back down from a challenge. In addition to wanting artistic freedom, he was determined to defy all of Disney's animation regulations. This required concentrating on character-driven narratives and exploring darker, more mature subjects. He wanted to challenge expectations and demonstrate that animation was a medium that could be used by audiences other than children. With this newfound independence, Bluth started a number of endeavors that would distinguish him from Disney and shape his career. His vision was demonstrated by his first major motion picture, The Secret of Nimh, 1982. Drawing inspiration from Robert C. O'Brien's book, Mrs. Frisby and the Rats of Nimh, the movie explored themes of survival, sacrifice, and death. In sharp contrast to Disney's then famous lighthearted themes, it was dark, thrilling, and beautifully animated. For The Secret of Nimh, a highly specialized and costly camera type was created. This was a new variation of the multi-plane camera that Disney used to give animated shots the appearance of depth. Moreover, in order to complete the movie in less than 2 years, animators worked literally non-stop, sometimes putting in 110-hour weeks to achieve the more challenging scenes, which they felt were important, not only for the movie, but also for the future of animation. Bluth's tireless commitment to his vision led the project through a number of challenges, including tight deadlines and budget constraints. But the end result was a breathtakingly beautiful and emotionally impactful movie, which pushed the boundaries of what animation could achieve. After seeing the movie, Steven Spielberg was amazed, and he reportedly said that he believed this type of animation was not feasible at the time because studios had told him it was too costly. He got so inspired by this that he instantly approached Bluth in order to produce An American Tail and later The Land Before Time. A major factor in Bluth's narrative style was his desire to give his character depth and authenticity. This was made clear in American Tail, 1986, in which the main character, a young mouse named Fievel, set off on a dangerous quest to find his family in America. The film's exploration of immigration, loss, and faith struck a deep chord with viewers. Since Steven Spielberg was also involved in the production of An American Tail, he contributed more resources and innovative ideas. Resultantly, at the time, it was the highest-grossing animated non-Disney movie with a global box office sum of more than $82 million. It demonstrated that there was a sizable market for animated movies that deviated from the Disney model. Another thing that distinguished Bluth was his character designs. In contrast to Disney's frequently romanticized depictions, Bluth's characters had flaws, were complex, and dealt with difficulties, and even depressing situations. This made the narrative of his movies much more touching. His animation throughout the movie was smooth and detailed, emphasizing the creation of visually striking sequences that charmed viewers. The other movie that Bluth and Spielberg worked on together was The Land Before Time, which George Lucas co-produced as well. Bluth's willingness to take on mature subjects was one of his greatest contributions. For instance, The Land Before Time, 1988, featured more than just a dinosaur tale. It was a moving story of friendship, grief, and resilience. Littlefoot's mother's tragic passing brought to light the movie's more profound emotional dimensions. And while Disney leaned heavily on songs to advance the plot, many of Bluth's films, like The Land Before Time, told their stories with little or no musical interludes.
Why do I have to know you're gonna be with?
The film's production was difficult, requiring a lot of rewriting and editing to make sure it was suitable for both adults and children. Despite these obstacles, the movie was a critical and financial success, earning over $82 million globally, while inspiring a television show and a number of sequels. Similarly, Bluth frequently used more gloomy and intricate storylines in his other movies, which questioned the idea that animation was only appropriate for young audiences. All Dogs Go to Heaven, 1989, explored themes of redemption and the afterlife, while Rock-a-Doodle, 1991, tackled themes of self-discovery and the battle between light and darkness. These films, though not as commercially successful as Bluth's earlier works, showcased his commitment to pushing the boundaries of animated storytelling. However, Bluth's journey was not without its challenges. His studio faced financial difficulties, and the animation industry was evolving rapidly. The rise of computer-generated animation and the resurgence of Disney with hits like The Little Mermaid, 1989, and Beauty and the Beast, 1991, posed significant competition. Yet, despite these obstacles, Bluth's films found a loyal audience. While All Dogs Go to Heaven and Rock-a-Doodle did not have the same level of economic success as his previous works, they still exhibited his unique style. Also, among the biggest obstacles Bluth had to overcome was his studio's bankruptcy in the early 1990s. Despite the financial success of films like An American Tail and The Land Before Time, the high production costs and rivalry from other companies caused a decline. But Bluth's patience throughout this time reflected his commitment to his arts. But Bluth never lost his love for animation in spite of the difficulties. He kept making movies that challenged the established standards of the genre. Finally, he proved his ability to combine traditional animation with captivating narration in Thumbelina, 1994, and Anastasia, 1997. With a global box office sum of over $140 million and nominations for many awards, including Best Original Song, Journey to the Past, and Best Original Musical or Comedy Score at the 70th Academy Awards, Anastasia was a notable success. It suggested that viewers were completely drawn to Bluth's unique perspective. In addition, Bluth's dedication to hand-drawn animation was notable in a time when computer-generated imagery took center stage. He was an advocate of classic, hand-drawn animation at a time when Disney was moving towards less expensive methods. His movie's rich, intricate graphics highlighted his passion for artistry and stood out in an era where animation was becoming progressively standardized. Bluth felt that the essence of animation was the artist's individual touch, something that couldn't be fully replicated by machines. Contemporary animators who still support conventional techniques have found resonance in this outlook. With movies like Spirited Away, 2001, and My Neighbor Totoro, 1988, studios like Studio Ghibli remain dedicated to hand-drawn animation, producing visually stunning and emotionally stirring movies that fascinated viewers all over the world. Clearly, Bluth made a lasting impression on the industry with his storytelling approach. His works gave viewers a deeper emotional experience by frequently examining themes of joy, dedication, and loss. His approach has impacted contemporary animation narrative and inspired producers to explore the limits of the medium. Movies like Pixar's Up, 2009, which explored love and loss in a moving way, and Inside Out, 2015, which explored the depths of human emotions, were able to trace their story's depth back to Bluth's impact. Moreover, with films like Frozen, 2013, and Moana, 2016, that examine themes of self-discovery and human development, even Disney, the company that Bluth originally rebelled against, had recently embraced more sophisticated storytelling, empowering children as protagonists. With that, Don Bluth left a lasting legacy in the world of animation. He proved that there existed a huge market for narratives that deviated from the Disney model. His films struck a chord with audiences who wanted more complex, deeper narratives. Subsequent animators and companies that dared to tackle greater and darker stories were all influenced by Bluth. The increased interest in classic, hand-drawn animation is yet another sign of Bluth's influence. His commitment to beauty and workmanship motivated a new generation of animators to keep experimenting with the medium. Bluth's lasting impact is further demonstrated by the current comeback of hand-drawn animation in films like The Princess and the Frog, 2009, and the ongoing appeal of Japanese anime. Bluth always believed that animation should be more than just amusement. He felt that animation was a potent narrative that could tackle difficult subjects and evoke strong feelings. Therefore, in an industry that was mostly controlled by conventional techniques, he stood out for his dedication to mature, character-driven storytelling, as well as his confidence in the artistic merits of hand-drawn animation. He broke the rules, challenged the norms, and carved a unique path in a world of animation. Despite not having the same level of financial success as Disney's blockbusters, his films had a lasting impact on the movie industry. Therefore, the next time you see an anime movie that explores darker subjects or features elaborate hand-drawn artwork, keep in mind the pioneer who dared to challenge even the majestic Disney. Don Bluth, the anti-Disney director. His influence motivated a new generation of animators to push the boundaries and create tales that have a deeper emotional impact on viewers. Don Bluth's journey serves as a reminder that sometimes defying expectations and working independently may produce amazing, surprising outcomes. Creativity has no boundaries, and questioning accepted conventions frequently leads to genuine innovation. Hence, whether you're a writer, an animator, or just someone who loves to push the envelope, let Don Bluth's narrative encourage you to embrace the unusual and have big dreams. After all, it's the rule breakers and visionaries who changed the world. What are your thoughts about Don Bluth's journey? Share it with us in the comments below. And if you like this video, be sure to share it and subscribe to Director's Cut for more amazing content.